In 2021, we sold most of our personal belongings and became digital nomads. We grew tired of Chicago winters, crime, American mass shootings, and set our sights in moving to Mexico.
All this time, we've been saying we moved to Mexico, when in actuality, we've been traveling throughout Mexico. So does that really count as moving? Part of our goals in traveling throughout the country, other than, of course, learning more about our beautiful heritage, cultures, is that we were looking for a potential place to call home. And we've made numerous videos analyzing the pros and cons of places we liked. And now we find ourselves moving to a place we never considered an option, Mexico City. The reason we hadn't really considered Mexico City as an option is because of its massive size, insane traffic, high cost of living, pollution, earthquakes, and safety concerns. And yes, we do come from another big metropolitan city, Chicago, but Mexico City is a whole nother animal.
But now that we are presented with the opportunity to live in Mexico City, we are starting to see that the benefits outweigh the initial concerns we had.
But honestly, one of the biggest influences for why we avoided Mexico City for so long was because of everything our parents told us. Our parents migrated to the US when they were fairly young. His parents were teenagers, my mom was in her 20s, and the experience that they had of Mexico City in their day was that it was probably the most dangerous city in the world to them. And since then, they've avoided, to this day, they avoid visiting or traveling through Mexico City because they're that afraid of it. And they are always warning us to stay safe in Mexico City. They're always worried about our safety here. So I gotta admit, that kind of got into our heads a little bit when it comes to safety. We've never really felt in danger in Mexico, but when it comes to Mexico City, I think it has a reputation for crime and theft and kidnappings, all the things that also happen in the US, particularly in Chicago. So eventually, like Kevin said, when the opportunity presented itself, we're like, screw it, let's give it a chance.
So you're probably wondering, why did we move here? Well, like we mentioned in a previous live stream, Jenny actually got a job here in Mexico City.
It's a job I'm really excited about, and it's something I've been looking forward to doing since I was a 22-year-old grad student. My professional background is in higher education administration with international programs, and I finally have the opportunity to use my skills to join my two worlds, the US and Mexico. But, and this is a big but, I have yet to receive a formal offer in writing for the job. I received a phone call back in May. We're a couple days from September now, and I still haven't seen an offer in writing. So part of me doesn't really feel like this job is real, and I'm worried that we're settling into living here in Mexico City without a job. Well, Kevin has a job, and you probably know that, and we do YouTube, but YouTube apenas alcanza para los dulces, so like, whatever. The point is that I'm really nervous about whether or not I'm actually gonna have a job. A job offer is with the university system in the United States, but it's in collaboration with the National Autonomous University of Mexico, UNAM, which I'm really, really excited for because it's one of the biggest, most prestigious universities in Mexico. I'm really excited to take this next step in my career, but I have no start date and no clue what's really gonna happen. I think there are some legal issues with the job without really getting into the details of it all. It contributes to like the nerves and anxiety that we have to live here, because this is a much higher cost of living than we've been accustomed to the last 2 years when we've been living on just one salary. And I mention all this because lots of people have been asking us what we do for work, they've been asking us how we make money in Mexico, so I figured I would share. And a lot of those questions are coming from other Chicanos like us who are also thinking about moving to Mexico. And that reminds me of when we first started thinking about moving to Mexico. It was a few years ago during a trip to Playa del Carmen, and we noticed that there were tons of foreigners, mainly European and Canadian, North American, moving to Mexico, not just as retirees, but younger people. And I thought, well, we both thought, we're like, if they can do it and make and thrive in Mexico, why not us who have a special connection to the country? So that's why we started our channel, and we're seeing that more and more Chicanos are gaining interest in moving to Mexico. And I bring this up because foreigners moving to Mexico has been causing gentrification concerns for a few years now. And I stopped to wonder if we're a part of that, or if we're welcomed because of our connection to the country. I don't know. With controversies like the recent Yaritza y su Esencia controversy, it makes me wonder if people have preconceived notions about us, about who we are, what we like. We talked about that in the recent video, so if you haven't seen that, recommend checking that out because it's something that we feel could affect how people treat us around here. So all in all, we're nervous, but really excited for what Mexico City has to offer. That being said, what are you most looking forward to about living here in Mexico City?
I'm looking forward to a lot of the culture, like checking out places like Xochimilco, the archaeological sites like Tenochtitlan, and Mexico City just has so much culture and so much diversity to offer, so I'm super excited for that. What about you?
I'm most excited about living in a city that always has something exciting going on, like events, concerts, festivals. There's always something really fun and interesting to do, and even if we don't know what to do, I know that we can always come to the Alameda, the Zócalo, or near Bellas Artes and people watch, because honestly, the people are always doing cool things, dancing, Pokemon meetups, like random things, and it's really fun to watch.
So while it might be too early to tell whether we like it here or not, I can already tell it's going to be a major adjustment because this is the first time we feel completely by ourselves. See, throughout our travels in Mexico, we went to places like Veracruz, Mérida, Zacatecas, Monterrey, and we had family there, so they were kind of like showing us around and teaching us how to get around the area. But now here in Mexico City, we have absolutely nobody here, so it's going to feel different. It's going to be a major adjustment, and we're kind of excited, but we're also a little nervous.
One of the biggest adjustments already is taking the metro. The metro system here is like a survival of the fittest reality show. Yeah. I saw something yesterday that I wish I'd gotten. I was so amazed at what I was looking at. I forgot to pull out my camera, but somebody was pushing people pushed so hard into the metro.
La Ciudad de México da servicio diariamente a más de 3 millones de personas.
Really very violent.
They're all packed in there like
very
sardines,
violent.
But hey, it's an adjustment. It's a city.
But
so
we'll adjust. I think we'll be okay. And let me warn y'all, I'm pretty sure we're not gonna love everything about this city. There's a lot I don't like about Chicago, but I'm still, gonna tell you that it's a great city. And same goes for Mexico City. There are gonna be things we don't like, or there are gonna be things we love, but we look forward to it all.
So what's next for Eat, Baila, Travel?
Well, you can expect videos about our lives here in Mexico City, including our apartment hunting process, travel vlogs, food vlogs. We even have a list of culture shocks specific to Mexico City that we want to put into a video.
And living in such a central part of the country and having access to a major airport means we're still going to be able to show you a lot of beautiful places around Mexico and, of course, the world.
For example, we have a Pueblo Mágico from Puebla coming up to you next, so be sure to check that video out. Thanks so much for joining us. If you made it to the end of this video, be sure to drop a Mexico emoji down in the comments.
Se cuidan, se bañan y nos vemos hasta la próxima. Chao.